You are paying people to move words around, copy, paste, format, resend. Then you pay again when it breaks. It feels like progress because the screen changes, but nothing actually improves. That hidden time tax stacks up in tiny chunks all day. And every manual handoff is a silent error factory. The moment you paste, the context dies. Decisions, timestamps, owners, and why it matters. Work stops while someone waits for the latest version. And when something goes wrong, there is no audit trail, just blame. If your process smells weird, this is why. Moving to slide 2. The smell is not the tool, it is the missing structure. Most teams never define inputs, so anything can show up in any format. They never define outputs, so the receiver has to guess what done means. Then tools stay disconnected, and the only bridge is a human clipboard. That makes work depend on memory. Who updates the CRM? Which sheet is the real one? What the latest ticket status is? Quality checks become manual because there is nothing to validate against. So you add spreadsheets, checklists, and extra pings to compensate, which creates even more copying. Once you notice that pattern, you start seeing exactly where it leaks. Moving to slide 3. It shows up in the places you touch every day. Sales calls turn into notes, then somebody pastes them into the CRM, usually missing the next step or the decision maker. Support tickets turn into status reports, and the report quietly disagrees with the actual queue. Product docs get summarized into task boards, then the nuance disappears, and engineering builds the wrong edge case. Spreadsheets get emailed around, and now there are 5 versions with 5 different totals. Logs get turned into incident summaries, and the timeline is rebuilt from memory instead of evidence. None of this fails loudly at first. It fails as tiny drift, and that drift is what makes the cost curve so brutal. Moving to slide 4. The real cost is not the minutes you spend copying. It is what happens after the drift. A small mismatch creates rework. Someone builds the wrong thing. Someone follows up with the wrong customer. Someone escalates the wrong incident. Decisions get made on stale info because the latest update lives in a chat thread, not in the system of record. Alignment meetings appear to reconcile competing versions of reality. Onboarding slows down because new hires cannot trust any one place, so they learn by asking people. Then burnout hits, not from hard problems, but from endless busy work that never stays fixed. The only way out is to stop moving blobs of text and start moving structured work. Moving to slide 5. Replace copy-paste with a pipeline. Start with a single source of truth for each object. A deal lives in the CRM. A ticket lives in the ticketing system. An incident lives in your incident tool. Then make the fields typed, not blobs. Instead of pasting a paragraph, capture specific fields like next step, owner, date, severity, customer impact. That makes validation possible. Move events over snapshots. Don't send, here is the current status in an email. Log, status changed from A to B. Handoff to Tier 2. ETA updated, with who and when. Use links over duplicates. If someone needs the details, link to the record, not a copied version that will rot. Finally, add automated validation gates. If a deal stage changes, require a next step. If an incident is marked resolved, require a root cause and timeline. When the pipeline enforces the rules, people stop policing each other, and the work stays clean. Moving to slide 6. When AI works, it usually fits one job, taking messy human input and turning it into something your systems can trust. Think email threads, chat logs, PDFs, call notes, and screenshots that all describe the same request in different ways. Your goal is to translate that mess into structured data. Start by deciding what you want extracted: order number, customer name, product, issue type, urgency, next action. Then make the model do the boring part consistently, even when the wording changes. If you need a summary, make it provable. Require citations back to exact source snippets, so you can audit and so reviewers can spot mistakes fast. Also ask the model to flag contradictions and gaps. 2 different ship-to addresses, missing purchase date, A refund requested, but no reason given. That is high value because it prevents downstream rework. Finally, route the result to the correct owner: billing, support, compliance. AI is not replacing the workflow. It is making the handoff cleaner with fewer surprises. That is the whole point, and it sets up a simple 4-box flow that stays stable as volume grows. Moving to slide 7. Use a 4-box design so your automation stays predictable. Capture is where data enters: email, form, upload, or transcript. Normalize is where you clean it and standardize it into one shape. Decide is where you apply rules. Is this complete? Is it high risk? Should it go to a human? Deliver is where you write the result to the right system or create the right ticket and log every step. Store the raw input, the normalized output, the decision, and what you delivered. Logging turns failures into fixes instead of mysteries. If you cannot trace a bad outcome back to a specific input and model output, you cannot improve it. Clean flow is good, but clean data definitions are what make it durable. Moving to slide 8. Start with the schema, not the prompt. If you want reliable automation, you need a clear target shape. Define required fields. If a field is required, the model must either fill it or mark it missing. Define allowed values and formats. Dates in ISO format. Currency as a number plus currency code. Categories from a fixed list, not free text. Add confidence thresholds. For example, if issue type confidence is below 0.8, do not auto-route. Set human review triggers for anything high impact. Refunds over a certain amount. Anything involving legal terms. Anything with contradictory identifiers. Design error states and retries. If the input is unreadable, return a specific error like source pass failed. If required fields are missing, return needs info with a list of questions to ask. If the model output fails JSON validation, retry once with a stricter instruction, then escalate. A good schema makes the workflow calm. It turns AI into a component you can test, monitor, and trust. Once that target is fixed, your prompts can act like contracts. Moving to slide 9. Treat prompts as contracts your system enforces. You are not asking for a vibe. You are specifying behavior. Start with role and objective. For example, you are an extraction engine for customer requests. Then set input boundaries. Tell it exactly what it can use, like the provided text chunks, and forbid guessing from prior knowledge. Require strict JSON output that matches your schema. No extra keys, no prose. If your pipeline validates JSON, you want the model to fail clearly rather than smuggle errors in paragraphs. Require citations to source chunks for any extracted value that could be disputed. That includes names, amounts, dates, and policy claims. If a value has no supporting quote, it should be null with a reason. Also, give it permission to refuse. If the input is ambiguous, the correct output is uncertainty, not invention. A contract prompt reduces silent failure, and it pairs naturally with tooling that moves data through systems without fragile copy and paste. Moving to slide 10. Tooling without blue means your automation runs like infrastructure, not a spreadsheet macro. Use a webhook or event trigger so work starts automatically when data arrives. Put requests onto a queue so spikes do not drop jobs and retries are safe. Keep a database as the truth layer. Store raw input, normalize JSON, decisions, and final writes. When you deliver, use API writes, not pastes. Create the ticket, update the CRM, append to the case record, and include the citations for audit. Add observability dashboards. Track failure rates, human review rates, latency, and top error states. If something drifts, you catch it early and fix the process, not the symptoms. That is how small automations become systems with guardrails that keep working at scale. Moving to slide 11. If you want AI in real workflows, you need guardrails that scale past a single champion. Start with diff checks against history, so the system compares new outputs to what already worked and flags suspicious changes. Put policy rules before anything writes to a ticket, doc, or repo. so unsafe content never lands in your source of truth. Redact PII at capture, not after the fact, because once it spreads, it is hard to pull back. Add rate limits and budget caps, so one bad loop cannot burn your quota or spam your tools. Then do weekly sample audits, small but consistent, to keep quality from drifting. When those rails are in place, you can move fast without crossing lines. Moving to slide 12. To prove ROI in days, pick one repetitive chain, not a vague initiative. A chain is a sequence you already do the same way every time, like intake, triage, draft response, update system, and close. Measure cycle time before you touch anything. Pull a baseline from real timestamps, or do a simple time study across 10 recent cases. Then define what done means, including edge cases, so the pilot does not win by skipping work. Track defects and rework from day one. Defects are wrong outputs that would have shipped. Rework is time spent fixing AI output, clarifying missing info, or undoing incorrect updates. If cycle time drops, but rework climbs, you did not gain capacity, you just moved effort downstream. Pilot with one team that actually owns the work and can change the process. Give them a tight loop, daily review of failures, update the prompt or schema, adjust the policy rules, and rerun. Expand only after stability, meaning the numbers hold for at least a week, and the team is no longer babysitting the system. When your baseline, defects, and rework are visible, ROI stops being opinion and becomes a dashboard. Moving to slide 13. If you keep copying and pasting between AI and your tools, you become the integration layer. That feels fine at first, until quality turns into personal heroics, where the best person saves the day and everyone else gets inconsistent results. Your systems stay fragmented because the real workflow lives in someone's browser tabs, not in the product. Teams lose shared context because decisions and edits never make it back into a single source of truth. And AI stays a toy, useful for drafts, but unable to compound gains across the organization. The moment you stop pasting and start wiring, you stop being the bottleneck and start building a system that improves even when you are offline. Moving to slide 14. In the next 30 minutes, list your top 5 paste moments from the last week. Pick the one with the highest frequency. Write the schema on paper, the exact fields you wish you always had. Define review thresholds, like auto-send only under a certain risk score. Otherwise, route to a human. Set one success metric, like minutes saved per case with defect rate held flat. If this helped, subscribe for more practical workflows. Comment with the paste moment you want to eliminate first. Technology changes fast. Great systems last.